Hello and welcome to class number 24 of the quick revision series of Prelims 2024. I hope all of you are doing good and I really hope that you are enjoying this series and it is helping you revise for the upcoming Prelims examination. Many of you have still not joined the Telegram channel. You can get the PDF of all these lectures if you become part of that channel. The link is in the description of that video. Do that and also do hit the subscribe button if you have not done till now. Today again we have some topics from geography and environment that were in the news in the last 1 year or so, starting with something called carbon nanofluorides. Now what exactly is this? So scientists at IIT have artificially made some very small carbon flowers. What exactly do? They have become the most efficient way of trapping sunlight and converting it into heat energy. We already have a lot of equipment that convert sunlight into heat energy, but with not a lot of efficiency. But these carbon nanofluorides developed by IIT Bombay are now able to trap sunlight and convert it into heat with 87% efficiency. The reason why they are able to do that is number one, the unique structure given, and number two, the materials that are being used. This is the innovation. As I said earlier, the point of importance here is that the efficiency that they have displayed is very high. It's about 87%. They are able to absorb multiple frequencies of sunlight like infrared, visible red, ultraviolet, etc. And they are much better than traditional solar thermal materials because those materials can only absorb visible or ultraviolet light, but these can absorb other frequencies of lights as well. A special form of dust is used called DFNS, that is dendritic fibrous nanosilica. It is heated in furnace and then acetylene gas is introduced in the chamber that leads to deposition of carbon and turns it black. That black powder is then collected and then it is treated with a strong chemical that dissolves the DFNS away, which leaves only the carbon particles behind in a spherical shape bend. I'll show you how this actually looks. So this is a cone shaped kind of a material because of which it is able to display such efficiency. The structure is composed of carbon cones. It minimizes the reflection of light and ensures maximum internal absorption. And that is how 87% efficiency is being seen here. It's extremely important because the more efficiently that you convert one form of light into another, the better are your chances of using it, utilizing it in other equipments. Next news, the IUCN has moved on and started phase number 4 of its integrated tiger habitat conservation program, or the tiger program. This is actually a project that IUCN started in 2014 along with Germany. So Germany and IUCN in 2014 thought that they have to come together for conservation of tiger habitat in other countries around the world. Now the project has entered phase number 4 and IUCN has now decided to raise finances for tiger recovery. It is important for India because India also is home to a large tiger population, means that India may also be eligible to get finances under this program that is done by IUCN. That is how it is important and connected to India. As I told you, the program started in 2014 with support from German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development. It is now phase 4 of the program. Now, the program is intending to include not just tigers, but leopards, both mainland and clouded leopards as well. The countries that will be eligible to get funding under this includes India and other countries with tiger populations such as Bangladesh, Bhutan, Cambodia, India, Indonesia, Myanmar, Nepal and Thailand. That is why it is specific for India. Do remember, from the prelims point of view, if the question comes on tiger program, agencies behind this are IUCN and the German government, and it mainly is now focusing on increasing its coverage to leopards as well. Next article is about a statutory body that was in the news, Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Right Authorities. So basically last year there was a big battle between PepsiCo and potato farmers in India. So basically what happens, companies such as PepsiCo, they make Lay's chips that you all would eat. Now Lay's or these kind of chips are specifically made using some special varieties of potatoes. So what PepsiCo and these companies do, they kind of license these varieties and say that the farmers or other farmers cannot grow this. Only our farmers would be allowed to grow this variety, and only we will use this, so that no one is able to copy their trade secret. There was a case in the Delhi High Court between PepsiCo and the farmers, where PepsiCo said that only they have the right to grow this unique laced potato. Delhi High Court had rejected this right. This is where the law called Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights Act comes into picture, and there's an authority related to it. As I said, it's a statutory body, works under Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare under Ministry of Agriculture. It came in as a part of the law passed in 2001. As the name suggests, their functions include protection of plant varieties. So let's say a new crop variety, a new plant variety has been discovered. Now, how is it then put into official documentation? How is it recorded? That is where this authority comes into the picture. So they have the responsibility of keeping a note, maintaining the records of any new plant varieties, etc. that are being bred in India. They will be the one who will ensure that they are given complete protection. They will also make sure that no untoward incidents happen just because someone is wanting to experiment to create a new plant species. The law acknowledges the contribution of commercial plant breeders, and it also includes private sector, research institutes, etc. In 2005, the Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights Authorities was established to implement this particular law. So they are the ones who will ensure that this law is implemented properly on ground. How does this authority work? It has a chairman who is the chief executive of the authority. Apart from the chairman, the authority has 15 other members. Out of these, 8 are ex officio members of different departments or ministries. Then there are state government representatives, representatives from the seed industry, women, tribal organizations, etc. There is a Registrar General as well, who is the ex officio member secretary of the authority. This is the main function that the authority performs. As I told you, registering new plant species, especially the ones that have been derived from other existing species, developing distinctiveness, uniformity and stability test guidelines. So whenever a new plant species is cultivated, you can't just release it into the market. There is a lot of study, there are a lot of tests that are conducted to make sure it is safe, to make sure that it is uniform, to make sure that it can be grown on a large scale. Those include distinctiveness, uniformity and stability test. Guidelines are conducted, guidelines are created by this authority. It also looks into developing characterization and documentation of all the varieties that are registered, compulsory cataloging, maintenance of National Gene Bank. This is again very important. National Gene Bank, these kind of things are maintained to ensure that in future, if we have a situation that any plant goes extinct, we should have its gene pool so that if we want, we can regrow this. It looks into documentation, cataloging of farmers' varieties, preservation of plant genetic resources, rewards farmers, community of farmers, etc. that are engaged in conservation and improvement of new plant species. They also look into maintenance of national register of plant varieties across the entire country. Moving on, next news is from Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog has released a new tool called India Climate Energy Dashboard, ICED 3.0. This is a tool that will give you real-time or almost real-time data about India's energy consumption, about energy sector, climate, all these related issues. You will get a lot of parameters almost real-time on this particular platform. It is supposed to be one-stop solution, one-stop platform for all the real-time data about energy sector, climate, any economic data that is available from the government sources. It's delivered by Niti Aayog along with a climate change think tank called Vasudha Foundation. These are the two organizations that have come together. It is user friendly. It offers about 500 parameters, 2000 infographics to make it easier for you to understand the data. It is almost real time. It will facilitate insights and it will provide you a better understanding of India's energy sector, India's climate sector, what are the initiatives the government of India is taking, what is the impact of it in the long run. It also gives information on economy, demography for comparative analysis so that you can see the trends, whether these are increasing, decreasing, are we going in the right direction or not. Next news, there is a project which has become a contention between Karnataka and Goa. So Karnataka for a very long time has been working on building a project. It's basically about transfer of water from one river basin to the other river basin called the Kalas Bandura project. Now the problem is these rivers flow into Goa and Goa is not happy with that. They think that it will actually impact the flow of water into Goa. Now Goa is concerned about this plan, and what is the plan? It is to build the Kalasa Bandura canal. It will divert water from upper reaches of the Mahadai river. So Mahadai river is the one from where these two tributaries actually flow. The project is construction of dams and a canal system across the Kalasa and Banduri. These are the two rivers, as I said, of the Mahadai river, to divert water from Mahadai river to Malaprabha river. That is the entire project. It is all going to be based in Karnataka. The idea is, as with many of these projects, to ensure water supply to those districts, those areas where there is lack of water. For example, Belgavi, Dharwad, Bagalkot, Gadag in Karnataka. Because these rivers then flow into Goa, Goa is not happy with it. It's not a new project. It has been in talk since 1980s, but it has faced opposition from Goa. After this opposition, Mahadai Water Dispute Tribunal was set up in 2010 with Goa, Maharashtra and Karnataka, the three parties. Karnataka received the clearance for two detailed projects in January 2023. After that, the central government gave approval for this particular project. However, when Karnataka government decided to go ahead with it, Goa still hasn't given, or Goa still has raised objections. But again, as a different state, they don't really have a right, or they don't really have the power to stop the project from building. But what's happening is there are allegations from wildlife activists that it might bring certain harm to species that are living nearby around this particular river area, and that is why National Wildlife Board has been asked whether or not this project is sustainable. They have still not given a go ahead with it. That is why the project has still not been started. Now, there are some tiger reserves, wildlife sanctuaries, national parks that have been in the news. As we have covered in the earlier class itself, there are some details and information that you must know from the prelims exam point of view. So I made a table for all that information. For example, first, the Melghat Tiger Reserve. It was in the news because in Maharashtra, this tiger reserve had some death of tigers. Not the first one, not the last one, but it came in the news because of that. It's situated in Amravati district in Maharashtra, located in the southern offshore of the Satpura hill range. It was established first as a wildlife sanctuary in 1967, then became a tiger reserve. Also, please remember, it was the first tiger reserve in Maharashtra. It's considered as a place where we have critically endangered forest owlet. There are rivers in this area. 5 of them are major rivers, for example, the Khandu, Khapra, Sipna, Gadga and the Dola rivers. All these are tributaries of the Tapti river. Some of the important animals found here include sloth bear, Indian gaur, sambar deer, leopard, etc. Next, the Mukundra Hills Tiger Reserve. Again, it was in the news because it has now been opened up to safari tours. It is in Rajasthan. Here is a bit of information about that. It's in a valley basically between two mountains, Mukundra and the Gargola mountains in Rajasthan. It's located on the eastern bank of the Chambal river. It was first opened up as a wildlife sanctuary in 1955, then later became a national park. So remember, in terms of protection given or in terms of importance or significance, whatever you want to call it, wildlife sanctuaries are lower as compared to national parks. So it became a national park in 2004. It was declared as a tiger reserve in 2013. It has 3 wildlife sanctuaries. So in one single national park, basically, you can have multiple wildlife sanctuaries as well. So it includes 3 wildlife sanctuaries right now: Dara, Jaswant Sagar and Chambal wildlife sanctuaries. These are the important species that you will find of flora and fauna in this tiger reserve. Another tiger reserve in the news was the Kalakar Mundanthurai Tiger Reserve. In the news multiple times, in fact, as you can see here, researchers found a new plant species here. Then in Tamil Nadu, Jeep Safari also got started here. See, you will see a lot of governments, state governments, taking these initiatives of launching Jeep Safaris or forest safaris, etc. This is a way to create more employment. This is a way to attract more tourists. This is a way to ensure that the economic progress of the state actually gets energized. So this is why these things are usually done. Here are a bit of details about this. This is situated on the south side of the Western Ghats in the state of Tamil Nadu. It's a part of the famous Agasthyamala Biosphere Reserve. It is the first tiger reserve of Tamil Nadu, also known as the River Sanctuary, because it is the origin point of 14 rivers, established in 1988 by merging of the Kalakar Wildlife Sanctuary and the Mundanthurai Wildlife Sanctuary. It is drained by several rivers in Tamil Nadu. It is home to tigers because it's a tiger reserve, elephant, leopard, etc. And a lot of trees and plant species are also found in this particular tiger reserve. Next is the Kamlang Tiger Reserve. This reserve is in Arunachal Pradesh, so it's on the south side of Arunachal Pradesh, nearby the Myanmar-India border. Now, Indian government, as you know, has been giving a push to infrastructure at the border area, especially India-China border, India-Myanmar border, etc. So, Indian government has been building a lot of infrastructure nearby this tiger reserve, and that is why a lot of wildlife activists have come up and protested against such projects. But again, there has to be a balance found between national security and preserving these wildlife. Here are a bit of details about this. It's in southern part of Lohit district in Arunachal Pradesh on the border with Myanmar, named after the Kamlang river. This river flows through the reserve and joins the Brahmaputra. It is spread between Namdapha National Park on the south and Lang River on the north. It's also important because it is home to 4 big cats, including snow leopard, clouded leopard, leopard and tiger. Apart from that, it has other animal species such as the Himalayan palm civets, the leopard cat, slow lories, hoolock gibbon, etc. It is also home to macaw, Cape langur, boars. So it's extremely rich in wildlife. That is why any infrastructure being built here can have a negative impact on the overall wildlife population. The last one is a Dandeli Wildlife Sanctuary. It is in Karnataka. The reason why it is in the news is that in principle approval was given for declaring 6 eco-sensitive zones in this forest area, including the Dandeli Wildlife Sanctuary and Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary as well. Here are a few details. It is in the Uttara Kannada district of Karnataka, situated in the Western Ghats. Dandeli is a very famous tourist spot in Karnataka. A lot of people go there for activities such as river rafting, etc. It has the famous Kali River, Kaneri River and the Bethi River flowing through it. It's a part of Anshi Dandeli Tiger Reserve. The Karnataka government has even notified the Dandeli Elephant Reserve as a part of Project Elephant. It's very famous for the great hornbill and Malabar pied hornbill. It has trees such as reserve, rosewood, sandalwood, etc. Do remember a few details about this as well. This brings me to the end of this class. We have some more classes of environment coming up. I know it's a long thing, but environment is one of those subjects which have most of the questions from current affairs only. That's why it makes a lot more sense to read subjects such as environment, science and tech from current affairs, because you will see much lesser question from the static part as compared to from the dynamic part. We'll be back tomorrow 6 p.m. for the next session of the quick revision series. Do hit the subscribe and the like button if you have not done so far. Make sure you join the Telegram channel if you want to get all these PDFs with you for revision purposes. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Jai Hind.